I won't stop till I hear him say,
awakening, if you want to call it that. So, alrighty, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video breakdown, we have an interesting guest, one of our CYPRX superior traders alongside me, and him. Some of the other CYPRX superior traders are joining in as well, so you might hear some of their personal opinions. We're going to be talking about how the school systems are problematic by design. In my personal opinion, the school systems were created for a very specific purpose. Some of those purposes in which we talk about here on the CYPRX YouTube page and the Rumble, and that is mass control over the general population. And over the centuries, that has functioned, or has it been a function that has been perpetuated over the centuries in the school system. So with that being said, I'd just like to introduce Justin, who's one of the CYPRX advanced students. Justin, what's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. How you doing?
Can't complain, brother. It's been an absolute phenomenal day. The weather here in California has been absolutely outstanding, so I can't complain at all. What's going on, man? You hit me up with the message, and you wanted to talk about the school systems and your experience. Go ahead and let's get the ball rolling, man.
All right, man. Yeah, it's something I've kind of wanted to share for a long time, just because I've had so many people kind of ask me about my experience and kind of how I got to where I am today. I guess I'll start kind of at the beginning. I always grew up wanting to be a teacher because all of my teachers were very inspirational to me. So I went to college because that's what you're taught to do is, if you want to live the American dream, you got to go to college, you got to work hard. That way you can graduate for your degree and be a good American, right? So that's what I did. I found a good teaching school that was within my budget that I could kind of afford, but not really afford because they tell you that student loans are a good thing and you should take those on. But anyhow, so yeah, I went to college, and it didn't take me too long to kind of realize how the current education system is not what it was even for me back when I was a kid, and that wasn't even that long ago. Now I'm only 32. So in the course of, 15, 20 years, you can already see the tide of how things have changed. And man, I remember my first year of teaching. It's called Common Core. And basically, Common Core is just a specific way to teach things. And it's very clear cut. Like when you think about learning, you think about different ways to come up with the same answer, correct? Like when we do our trading, not everyone has the same exact analysis, not everyone takes the same exact trade. But at the end of the day, you can do a lot of different styles of trading and still come up with the correct answer. With teaching, I found when I got to that point, there was just, this is only the correct way to do it, and the other way is wrong. So like, critical thinking has been completely, taken out of the school systems. And that's
capitalize on that.
Yeah. So it kind of dined on me. I was like, why do they want these kids just to learn one specific way to learn something? Like if you do a mathematic equation, right? There's tons of ways to get the same answer, but you can get the same answer, but no, that's wrong. You did it the wrong way. You got the right answer, but how you got that answer is actually wrong. We need you to do it this way. And man, it just really kind of started the rabbit hole of where I've come to today with getting out of that, mindset of, I don't know how to explain it, but it got me down the rabbit hole of getting my mind out of that mindset of the matrix that we're kind of in.
All right, cool. Yeah, this is just to capitalize. It's so interesting. Like, just so many people coming together and starting to wake up and realize that the reality that we live in is not, I guess you could say, the real one, because it is in a sense, but it's like this massive smoke screen that's given to us just to capitalize on what you just said, on realizing about how the school system is just about control and about forcing kids to just do one thing and not have an open expression or a creative effort to kind of take their own path, figuring out an equation or a problem. There's this article right here, and I was reading. I like to read blogs. I'm always just reading, just in my off time. That's something that I do. I don't watch TV. I don't, really play too many video games. Sometimes in my off time I do, but the majority of the time I'm reading. And I came across this one, and it talks about the education system. And it says right here, which I completely agree with, which falls in line with what you just said. It says the education industry undermines student health and contributes to creating an unequal society, dividing students of various backgrounds and identities. Children are sorted and standardized, creating inferiority and superiority complexes. Sexism, racism, bullying, homophobia, transphobia, gender segregation, information suppression, and misinformation run rampant. Those are big vocabulary words, but the two ones that I really correlate with are the suppression and misinformation. As an adult, I literally have a whole entire bookshelf of books that literally reteach our human history. And none of it is found in the school systems. No school system talks about how there was a civilization that lived over 12,000 years ago. And they've recently just dug up archaeological sites like Göbekli Tepe, where they're realizing that our civilization is much older than how school systems teach it. So I really do click with these two words, which is suppression of information and misinformation running rampant. Then it goes on to say students memorize useless facts while their mental and physical health are utterly degraded. The uniqueness of students, various learning styles and intelligence are ignored. So that's where it kind of capitalizes on what you just said, is like they try to teach you one way of doing things. And if you find a different route or you have some type of freedom of expression on the way that you want to handle a certain situation, they don't let you think that way. It's this way. My way is the highway. Take this test or get an F. Then you also talked about the debt, you know, getting out of college and being in debt. You know, people don't even realize some of these numbers specifically. Look at this. I mean, this just came out today. Nobody's talking about it on the mainstream. It's not blowing up like it should be. The CEO of America's second largest bank, Bank of America, is preparing for a possible U.S. debt default. I wrote down here in my notes that we live in a country where they have brainwashed people into debt, literally by telling them that you need college to be successful. And in order to go to college, you have to get student loans because majority of individuals can't just flat out afford college. So we live in a society where they manipulate you into getting into debt. Then they never pay their own debt back. Huh? What? What? Whole time they scrutinize you for being in debt. They give you a credit score, right? And if you don't make payments on your stuff, for example, car, student loans, whatever the case may be, you get points reducted on your credit. The United States, look at this, right? Possible debt default. Reached their debt limit just the other day. Where's their credit score at? Hold up, right? But nobody thinks that way. And it's nuts. We live in a backwards society. I mean, it's mind-blowing that people don't see this. Like I say all the time, people are rioting for the wrong reasons. Anybody want to take the floor real quick? Let me cool off. He's got dogs in the background. All right, it's cool. So I mean, you hit me up and you were telling me about your personal college experience, and I've never really like openly talked about my whole entire awakening, if you want to call it that. So right off the bat, my experience with the school systems and why I'm so against them is not only because I became a successful six-figure entrepreneur without college and without any support from the school systems, but when I was going through school, one of the reasons why I didn't click wasn't because I'm not smart, because I'm a freaking genius. I like you know, you give me $1 and I could turn it into thousands of dollars in a matter of seconds. Not a lot of people could do that, you know. And I cracked the code on that personally through my development, my self-development, the belief in myself and whatnot. But I hated going to school because of the amount of control that it inflicted on me, or that I felt like it did. I had to be there at a certain time. I had to wear certain things. I couldn't listen to certain musics. Like it was just, you know, the school system. Going through high school is when I kind of had this awakening. However, to full circle this kind of in a sense, when I was about to graduate my senior year of high school, I worked 2 jobs to try and save money because I realized like I'm not about to go to college and get a decent paying job. So I thought working more jobs was what's going to make me massive amounts of money and just saving it in my savings account. Graduated high school, realized I had nothing going for me. I was sitting in the mall one day and an Army recruiter had come up to me and he was like talking crap to all of us teenagers sitting there talking like, oh, you guys aren't going to do nothing with your life. Look at you guys wasting time. You guys probably just were in this graduating class because our schools were right next to the mall. And the Army recruiters always hung out there. And he was just talking mad crap. And something that he said to me really clicked is that, you know, without discipline in life, you're not going to get anywhere. And that clicked to me. And I was like sitting there thinking, and I was like, I've never been a disciplined person in my life. And I wonder if that's why I am where I am, sitting here at this round table, eating McDonald's with these crap individuals, the friends that I had at the time, who aren't going anywhere, who 2 of them are in prison, 2 of them are dead right now. Literally insane that I dodged a bullet, especially compared to where I grew up. So I said to myself, I had an epiphany, like, I'm going to join the military. I'm going to join the military, and I'm going to test myself. I'm going to test myself. So I was 17, turning 18, joined the military, and went through boot camp, did the whole 3 years. After my 3 years, decided to re-enlist for another 2.5, did 5.5 years total. Then when I got out of the military, after having that discipline enforced into me and going along with it, having a structure, being told what to wear, being okay with it, being told when to cut my hair, being okay with it, to shave my face, go on deployments, they controlled my time, they controlled what I ate, they controlled where I stayed. When I got out, I was so used to that because that was the first experience as an adult that I had, which was control. So I went from high school to control. When I got out as a civilian, I was decent enough to have a nice contracting job my first 6 to 8 months out. So money wasn't really a thing, but I realized that the freaking world, the civilization, what am I looking for? The civilian world was chaotic, no structure whatsoever. People running around in debt, people running around looking for jobs, just no structure compared to what I had in the military, which was structure, discipline, a place to be, a time to be at, a reason why to be there. You can't find that in the civilian world. It's very hard to come by. So I took it upon myself to become an entrepreneur because I was like, I can create my own schedule. I can do this, I can do that, I can wear what I want, I can look how I want, I can answer to who I want to answer to. And in order to do that, you have to go your own route. You have to go the entrepreneur route. Not to say that that's not the college route, because you can still go to college and be an entrepreneur, but that was never it for me. Then come full circle, getting into the financial world, you've really realized that it's all a system plagued by the elite bankers to take people's freaking money. I mean, look at some of these statistics right here. Look at this. This is nuts. Student loan debt statistics, 2023. U.S. student loan debt totals $1.76 trillion. And the age group of these individuals is staggering. It's like people that are like 19 to like 34 are in at least $20,000 of debt. What? How many Americans have student debt? And this isn't even like global numbers. This is just America, 1 in 5 adults. So you mean to tell me that if I go back to that same mall where I joined the military, eventually had an awakening, became a 6-figure entrepreneur, I go back to that same mall and I look at a crowd of people, 1 in 5 of those people have at least $20,000 of just student debt. That's not even all their debt, just student debt. Come to find out, you talk to these people and they're not even awake and aware to the fact that they were manipulated into student debt. Most of them probably don't even use their degree for whatever job they currently have. And most of them probably won't even pay their debt off till they're in their 40s, maybe even 50s. That's sad. Big time sad.
And they rely on pension.
And they rely on pensions, which are about to go bust anyways. Yep. So
earlier I wanted to say, isn't it Rothschild who said, I don't want a society of thinkers, I want a society of workers, and everything changed.
100%.
The map of the world, everything changed.
I was reading this article right here. It says self-made millionaires say you should think twice before going to college. And I was just reading about how many millionaires out there. It's kind of hard to find statistics. But this individual was making a good point, and he was talking about in this specific little writing here, where he was saying the same thing. School takes away freedom of thought. It doesn't allow you to think for yourself. It doesn't allow you to create. Naturally, humans, we feed off of our own ability to create. And if that's taken away, you're not living. If you're not creating, if you're not in an everlasting state of creation and evolution, then you are dead. You're dead. And the elite cabal, they have manipulated the entire world, not only in the banking sector, but the school system as well. I mean, there's so many sectors, the business sector, I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. They have their hands in everything. And it's all to full circle to manipulate you into taking out your thinking, self-development, self-thought. It's really, truly nuts.
I won't stop till I hear him say,